this is going to work better. So I apologize for everybody that came early to the other stream I had set up, only to have it messed up. If I can fix this thing, get my phone in the holder here, I think we might be able to get this done. I think, but don't quote me on it because you never know. Let's try this again. Close this and come back to it. Again, sorry about the inconvenience, but we will get started shortly. Hopefully, if the video YouTube gods will allow. All right, let's get to where we need to be here. The joys of live streaming without a good camera and just a phone. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Hey, Steve, thank you. I don't have the foggiest idea what happened last time. I have no earthly idea what's going on with that, but hopefully now everything is in place. Hello, Alex, Midlife, Kevin, and Kenyon. Everything seems to be showing up now, I assume. Hello, Dav. Yeah, it does look normal, which is a good thing. We like to look normal if we can. So I think that shows everything now. You don't really need to see the umpires. I'm going to move them up to the top chart, and so you don't really use that chart anyway. I just wanted to show who the umpires are going to be and what bases they're at. John McSherry is the home plate umpire. Ed Montague is at first. Bob Davidson is at second. And Charlie Williams is at third. So I will put those back in their respective bases and call on them when they are needed, if they are needed, which usually once or twice a game, we usually will get an umpire check. Although I have gone whole games with no umpire checks. I've gone games with 3 umpire checks. So you never can tell how it's going to work out. A zoom slide. I have no idea what a zoom slider is. Maybe I'll have to Google what a fisheye thing is. I have no idea. The only time I've ever heard the term fisheye is watching Sanford and Son when Esther used to call Fred a fish-eyed fool, but that's the closest I've ever come to that. All right, so we're going to start with our game day checks. Cincinnati Reds won game 1 of the series on April 17th. This game's April 18th. On April 17th, extremely wide angle. Okay, I don't know how that even got on there. That's not a setting on my phone that I know of, but I'll have to investigate because it doesn't happen on my Stratomatic videos. I've never had a problem with Stratomatic videos. It's just when I want to do History Maker for whatever reason it does that. Or it could be because I tried to set it up in advance and did where it's scheduled for later. Maybe it's the schedule for later thing that's screwing me up. I don't know, because that seems to be when that occurs is when I set it up later. If I go straight live, it seems to be okay, but when I try to set it up to come on later at a certain time, that seems to be when it messes up. I'll have to do some investigating, some Googling or whatever. So anyway, game day check. The Reds won the previous game of the series, so they have a 1-game winning streak. So we're going to see if they are going to be harmonious or have to go to the side or die. That's a 1, so they are fully harmonious. So the Reds are fully harmonious, and now they're going to go off the sunny side of the chart. And we get a 1, which is batting coach. So we'll go to the batting coach. And that's a 2, so we're going to Major Perk with starter. Okay, Major Perk with starter. That's that number 2 spot there. I know it's probably hard to see on there, but it says Major Perk with starter. Which starter? Number 6, designated Cole batter. Okay, the designated Cole batter in this game is Joe Oliver. So Joe Oliver gets a Major Perk. What is the Major Perk? He's good eye until further notice. Okay, I got to write that in. And that's going to remove the Luis Quinones happy till further notice. That is now gone because that's been pushed aside. Danny Jackson is happy till further notice. So even if we had not gotten harmonious here, anytime Danny Jackson's in the game, they would be fully harmonious. But in this case, Joe Oliver is going to have a good eye until further notice. So he has less chances of striking out. All right, so that's the game day check for the Reds. Of course, the Padres are neutral, like all the opponents are neutral. Kind of learned that from Al Wilson. So it looks like, let's see, the slider is in the continuing settings on the phone. All right, I'll have to check that out midlife because, like I said, I'm not a technical savvy guru whatsoever. So we look at the score sheet. I'll bring that in. For the Padres, Bip Roberts is the designated hot batter based on the previous game. Joe Carter is the cold batter. For the Reds, Benzinger is the hot batter and Oliver is the cold batter. Now, an oddity in the schedule, I don't know what it is, if it was rainouts or what it was, but after this game, it's 3 days. That I don't know, Kenny. I really don't know how many runs the pregame checks make, or save or whatever. That's, I guess, up for, I guess we can go back and check it at the end of the season and see what happens. But as I was saying, the 18th is today in the schedule, April 18th. And they'll play again until the 21st when Atlanta comes to town. So I don't know if there were rainouts that were regularly scheduled and they got rained out, but they're going to have a couple of days off. So everybody in their bullpen is going to be available because they get so much rest after this game is over. So even though Dibble pitched 2 innings yesterday, I'm still going to be able to use him at least 1 inning today because he will get that rest. You got it right, Chuck. I don't know about technical or not, but I am a baseball guy, and that's what I first and foremost. Been doing this a long time before I put a camera to it or a phone to it. So just on my own, I don't have to worry about these things. But as soon as you go to try to do a video or a stream, that's when you get into trouble. I usually don't have troubles when I'm videoing. It's usually the streams that give me trouble. But I know people seem to like the streams, so that's why I do them, especially on a Saturday. Late morning, early afternoon. I guess it's afternoon now. This is about time the game of the week would be coming up. And also, I have an announcement about the NBC game of the week that's coming up in April. I am going to do something different this time. I will not be putting anything up for a vote. I've already decided what I'm going to do, what game engine I'm going to use, and what season I'm going to use. I really want to get into season ticket baseball. So, and the NBC game of the week will feature season ticket baseball 1978. So it will be 1978 season ticket baseball. That will be the engine that we'll be driving the NBC game of the week starting in April. So that's what I'm going to do because I really want to get into that game. I really want to like that game. And I figured doing it this way will force me to learn the game and show off the game as well. So that's what's going to happen on the NBC game of the week. Season ticket baseball 1978. It's the printed set that I bought from Clay. And so gives me a chance to want to use it, make that purchase worthwhile, I guess is what they say. All right, so we're ready to go. Danny Jackson is a semi-star, semi-flash, and semi-control. And, of course, he is happy till further notice, but since the Reds are already harmonious, that's, kind of a redundant thing, so it's really not needed. But it's nice to have it if it's there. All right, Bip Roberts is going to lead things off for the Padres. He's a hero only. This is only quality. He is the designated hot player in this game, but that's not going to come up right now, I don't think, unless we roll a 2-3-4. That'd be the only way it comes up. We get a 2-3-6, which is double control. He has control, but not double control, so that will be a walk. My only homebrew to prevent that walk is to have, if Bip Roberts is eager, he would not walk. He'd have a 2-ball count, but he is not eager. So Bip Roberts will be on. And Bip Roberts is going to try to steal. There are some functions here on the regular chart that talk about stolen base. And I haven't been doing that in previous games. I want to start doing that and try to be fair to the opponents. Try to manage them the way I would the Reds. So Bip Roberts I'm only going to do it for active runners for the opponents. Active, and probably do it only for the active runner for the Reds, but Bip Roberts is fully active. So we're going to, first thing we'll do is roll his sire die to see if he gets the jump. If he gets a dot, he can steal. If he gets a blank, it means he didn't get the jump. All right, he gets the jump, so he gets to go. We need to check on the catcher rating, Joe Oliver is neutral. He is not. He's normal. He's not gold or iron. So to steal second base, it's a 1-4. A 1-4, he will be safe. If you roll a 1, it's a possible throwing error. Actually, it's actually will be a throwing error, but not a possible throwing error. It would be a throwing error if we roll a 1. We do not. It's a 3, but he is safe. So Bip Roberts will steal second base. So I noticed I hadn't been doing that with my opponents in this game, and I really need to do that to be fair. So Bip Roberts will steal second base. That will take the double play out of the equation. Here's Roberto Alomar. Fix the focus here if I can, if that helps. Not sure that matters that much for History Maker. Not like it does for other games. All right, so here's Alomar. That's a 4.56. 4.56. Pitcher is blank. Is the batter patient? He's not patient. He's semi-eager. Actually, he's fully eager. So he will fly to center field. And that's one away. And it says here, it'd be a sac fly if the run was on third, but there is no provision to give from second to third, so he will have to hold at second base, does Bip Roberts. And that will bring up Tony Gwynn, but we are going to the chemistry chart because that was in purple. Hello, Max. How you doing? That was in purple. Reds are harmonious. Padres are neutral. We get a 3-4, and that is batting team harmony. No, they are not harmonious, so it's a ground out to third base. And with the ball hit to the left side, Roberts has got to hold. So there's 2 down. And Jack Clark, the batter, in a clutch situation. Or as another YouTuber would say, a clutch situation, if you know who he is. And here comes Jack Clark. 4.55. Asks, does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash. The dot gives it to him, so that is a strikeout. Unless he has a good eye. He does not have the good eye. So the strikeout will stand, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. I'm not going to bring up my Strat computer and enter these results into the Strat computer so I can keep everything up to date and then get you the red statistics as well. This is Danny Jackson's first start, so he has no statistics to worry about. Let's see here. What is going on with this? Let me check one thing to make sure I'm straight here. All right. So it didn't take the ground out. Okay, so that's all right. I'll do it this way. All right, that's 2 down, and Jack Clark strikes out. All right, so we're ready to go for the bottom of the first. Chris Sabo will be your leadoff man, and he is hitting .344. No homers and 5 runs driven in. That's why I want the Stratomat computer up, because I can get the stats up to the second stats of how they're doing. Bip Roberts left on second base, and will have to retreat to third base to play his position. So Chris Sabo, speaking of third baseman, is up against Rasmussen, who's a semi-workman with semi-control. That's a 1-2-4, which is a control check. And he's got semi-control. The dot gives it to him, so that's going to be a ground out to short. So Sabo grounds to Templeton for out number 1. So it's going to be a minor, like a 2 or 3 second delay between batters because I'm entering them into the computer to score the game. So, I mean, I'm getting better at how to do it faster, but there is that slight delay. All right, here's Billy Hatcher hitting .364, 1 homer, 2 driven in. That's a 2.56. Pitcher a struggler. No, he's a semi-workman, but not a struggler. Champion or patient, neither one. Infield drama for the Padres. And for the Padres, their infielders are all neutral. And we get 3-6 on the infield drama. 3-6 says third baseman gold. No, Bip Roberts is not gold. So it will be an error on Bip Roberts. How about that? Billy Hatcher will reach on the Bip Roberts error. Bip caused a blip on that one, E5. And we'll see if that goes to another chart. It does not. It goes right to the regular main chart. So Hatcher is aboard with 1 out, and that will bring up Barry Larkin. Larkin hitting .323. No homers, 2 driven in. That's a 2.46. Is the pitcher have control? Yes, he does. The desired dot gives it to him again. It's a ground out back to Rasmussen, which on a lead die of 2 is a fielder's choice. So Barry Larkin will reach on the fielder's choice. There are now 2 outs for Eric Davis, but that's going to go 1-4 for the fielder's choice. And Eric the Red now coming up. And Davis is hitting .414 in 29 at-bats. 2 homers, 9 driven in. That's a 3.55. This pitcher a struggler. No, as a batter a champion. Davis is not a champion. So he will ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi. The dot says he is. So Davis will take the whiff. And that will end the inning. So the Reds come away empty-handed. And at the end of 1, we have no score from Riverfront Stadium. Or as RJL likes to call it, the stadium by the front of the river. Sorry about that cough, but I didn't have any way to get out of it. All right. Joe Carter will lead things off for the Padres. And he is the designated Cole batter in this game. Whoa, triple ones. That's not good. Triple ones. Ace. No, he's not an ace. Is he a scrapper? No, he's a semi-home run king. That's gone. Joe Carter just went deep. Those triple ones, very APA-like. You see the APA influence right there. And Joe Carter. Touch them all, Joe. Even though that's 3 years in advance, but he will touch them all here. And it's a 1-0 ball game. That was a no-doubter. Here's Benito. 1-3-6. He's not an ace. Is the batter whiffer or cold? Neither one. And so we got infield drama for the Reds. And in the infield for the Reds, Duncan is semi-iron. Everybody else is neutral. So Duncan at second will be iron. So we're going to check the infield drama. 1-3, third baseman iron. No, Sabo's not iron, so it's just a routine ground out. We're out number 1. So play made by Sabo. 1 down for the other Clark, Gerald Clark, left field. 1-2-4 is control. He's got it. Semi-control. Dot says he does. So on the control, that will be a ground ball to the shortstop Larkin for out number 2. And if you guys can give me any suggestions on maybe a better presentation that I can use than what I'm doing now, any ideas that might make it better, besides the fisheye, I'm not counting that. I'm just talking about the setup and everything else. Anything else that I can do maybe to make it better, I'm always looking to improve. So if you have any suggestions that might help, let me know, and I will certainly consider them and probably do them. Here's Gary Templeton. 2-3-6, that double control again, but he's eager. So my house rule, when the batter's eager, is just a 2-ball count. There's not a walk. So Templeton with a 2-0 count. And that's 3-4-5. Iron catcher, no. Does he have a good eye? No, he does not. He will strike out. And that will end the inning. But the Padres get the run on the board thanks to the Jack Clark home run. That result was in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for Benzinger. Benzinger is the designated hot batter, so he will be a hot batter for this at bat. Davis struck out, so Rasmussen is semi-hot, courtesy of that strikeout. So we got a hot batter against a semi-hot pitcher. Benzinger hitting .355, a homer and 2 driven in. 1-2 now. Rasmussen is neutral and Benzinger is hot. So on the right now chart, hot batter against neutral pitcher and a 1-2. 1-2 hot batter. Yes, zeroes in on choice pitch, knocks a single into right field. So Benzinger focused here. Hot batter. He's going to continue his hot ways with the base hit. So that will help the average even further. And that's going to bring up Rolando Rooms. He was not carded by Play.com because he didn't have that many at-bats, so I carded him myself on the player creation so I could doll it up all I want because I'm not bound by using logos and everything like that. So too bad Play can't use the logos. That'd be a nice card if all their cards kind of had that, logo on it. We could just a little extra accoutrement, that's all. Orlando Rooms in limited duty, he's 0 for 8. So he's bat 0 with 2 strikeouts. 1-3-4 is the goal catcher. No, Benito Santiago is not cold. He's not a champion. So we have outfield drama for the Padres. Carter is semi-iron, and so is Gerald Clark. Gwynn is neutral. So now everybody's neutral. 3-5 on the outfield drama, and all neutral. 3-5 outfield drama, all neutral. Left fielder gold. No, Joe Carter is not gold. He's neutral. Would have been a flyout. Otherwise, it's going to be a double. So it'll be a double. And on a lead die of 3, let's see if the runner can score from first. Let's see here. Runner advances 2 bases when he hit. Yeah, it just says 2 bases. So Benzinger will go to third. And Rolando Rooms gets himself a double. His first hit of the season. He's now 1 for 9, batting 111. But it's better than batting 0. And that result is in purple, so we are going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat of Joe Oliver, who is a designated cold batter, but it doesn't really matter if you're talking chemistry. So we got a hot Reds against the neutral Padres. Padres are going to play with nobody out to play the infield back. 2-3 on the chemistry roll. 2-3. Pitching team harmony, no. So it's going to be a walk, and that's going to load the bases. If the Padres were harmonious, they would have gotten a strikeout, but they are not. So it's a walk to Oliver, and Oliver, forgot to give his numbers, he is hitting .250, no homers and 3 runs driven in. So he will walk, and that brings up Mariano Duncan with the bases loaded and nobody out. Infield looking for the double play. Back on the regular chart, Duncan is hitting .423, no homers, 4 driven in. Keep in mind, all these averages are with minimal at-bats. Duncan's only at 26, so you're going to have some obscure batting averages early on. Infield looking for the double play with nobody out. Rasmussen to Duncan, 2-4-4. Is pitcher an ace? No. Is the batter a champion? He's a semi-champion, but the dot doesn't give it to him, so it won't be a single. It'll be a ground out to short unless he's a whiffer. He is not a whiffer. But with a lead die at 2, it's a fielder's choice. So Benzinger will score. Rooms will go to third. Oliver is out at second, and Duncan reaches on the RBI ground out to tie the game. It's going to go 6-4. Fielder's choice. RBI ground out for for Duncan, rather. And Rooms takes third. So runners on the corners with 1 out. The pitcher coming up. Pitcher is up. Danny Jackson. Danny Jackson bats right-handed. Despite throwing left-handed, he bats right-handed. So if that 3-5-6 comes up, he will possibly get an advantage, although he's utility, so I think that wouldn't help anyway. So the infield now for the Padres is in. They don't want a cheap run to come in, so they're going to play in. Rasmussen against Jackson. That's a 3-4-5. Iron catcher. Santiago's not iron, does not have a good eye, so it's a strikeout. That's out number 2, and we're going to the right now chart for Chris Sabo's at bat. He is neutral, and the pitcher Rasmussen is semi-hot because of that strikeout. So a semi-hot pitcher against a neutral batter. Now they're both neutral. 5-6 on the right now chart. Hot pitcher, no. It's going to be infield drama. So infield drama for the Padres, and everybody's neutral. And that's a 5-6 on the infield drama chart. Infield drama, first baseman gold, no. So he won't grab a poor throw to first base. It's going to sail over his head for an error. So how about that? Rooms will score. Duncan will take third. And Danny Jackson will take second on the overthrow. I'm sorry, not Danny Jackson. That's Sabo. What am I doing? Jackson struck out. Sabo takes the extra base. And the Reds take the lead. So let's figure out who the error is on. That's not the catcher. Let's get somebody else. Come on, give me a different number. There we go, second baseman. So second baseman Alomar threw it away, and that's going to allow the run to score and the runners to move up. That is an E4 on Roberto Alomar. Duncan will take third. And let's see here. Make sure I've got it in the computer correctly. It's a 2-base error on So 2 runs scores 3-1 Reds. 3-1 Reds on that 2-base error by Alomar. And I'll check the result, and that result from that error is not in any color, so we're going back to the regular chart for Billy Hatcher's at bat. 4-5-5. Does the pitcher have flash? He does not. Is the batter a home run king? No, he's not. So he will ground to first, and that's going to end the inning. But Cincinnati picks up 3 runs, courtesy in a large part to the error that brought in 2 of those runs. We go to the third inning. It's 3-1 Padres. Let me put this in the computer here. Make sure I get the fielding correctly. Okay, there we go. Now we are straight. Now we are straight. Okay, so now we go to, well, the focus got out of whack here, didn't it? I guess when I'm picking up those little running markers, that must do something to the focus. I don't know. All right, so leading off will be Rasmussen for the Padres here in the top of the third. Last inning of full freshness for Danny Jackson. 1-1-5, and that's a freshness roll right on there. Pop out to the infield of our choice, so I'm going to say he pops it up to second. Duncan fields it, 1 away on the pop out to second. Top of the order for Roberts. He walked and stole second his first time up. 1-3-4, goal catcher no, champion no. We got outfield drama for the Reds. Everybody's neutral. On the outfield drama, we've got a 1-5. Left fielder gold, no, it's going to be a single. So since Hatcher was not gold, it's going to drop in for a hit for Roberts. And we're going to the chemistry chart. Because of that, neutral Padres against the harmonious Reds. That's a 1-1. Interesting roll there on chemistry. Pitching team harmony, yes. Lazy pop fly to the infield. It would have been a fence check otherwise. So lazy pop fly to first. And Benzinger will haul it in for 2 down. That would have been a fence check. That would have been trouble otherwise. But the fact they were harmonious took that away. Now it brings up Tony Gwynn, grounded to third base his first time up. 1-2-3, flash and fresh. Yes, he is, because the dot gives it to him, so it's a strikeout. And that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing there for the Padres. Go to the bottom of the third. Reds lead it 3-1. They continue to lead it 3-1. And this is the final inning of full freshness for Dennis Rasmussen as well. Barry Larkin will do the leading off. So since I finished that inning, let's put it in the computer, shall we? All right, pop out to second. A single. Pop to first. And a strikeout. All right, so we're up to speed for Barry Larkin. Larkin, his first time up, hit into a fielder's choice. 1-3-6. The pitcher is not an ace. Is he whiffer or cold? He is neither one. So we have infield drama for the Padres. Everybody is neutral in their infield. That's a 1-5. Infield drama. Shortstop iron. No, Templeton is not iron, so it's a good play. And one shortstop will retire the other. 1 away for Eric Davis. Eric the Red. Eric the Red struck out his last time up. 2-3-5. Pitcher's not wild. Is he eager? Eric the Red is not eager. So he will ground to second, and that's out number 2. 2 down, and that's going to send it to Mr. Benzinger. 1-2-3, flash and fresh. He doesn't have either one of them, so it'll just be a ground ball to short. instead of a strikeout, and that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Reds in their half of the third, as they had 3 ground ball outs. Pretty nondescript inning. But now both pitchers will revert to semi-freshness since we're in the 4th inning. And Jack Clark will be your leadoff man for the Padres. He struck out his first time up. 3-1 ball game, top of the 4th. 1-1-3, ace or dynamic. He is neither one of those. Slugger, he's home run king but not a slugger. So he will single to center unless he's a home run king, which he is. So that means he's going to strike out, as he was going for the downs instead of putting the ball in play. That's where that result comes from. So Clark down on strikes for the second time. Brings up Joe Carter. His home run started the scoring. 2-2-3. Wild, no. Slugger or utility. He is utility, so he will line out to short. And that is out number 2. So Carter lines to short for the second out. And here is Benito Santiago. 1-4-6, flash. He's got it. The dot gives it to him, so it will be a strikeout. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Danny Jackson. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-1. And Rolando Rooms, who had a double his first time up, his first hit of the season, he will lead off here against Rasmussen. 1-1-5, is he fresh? Yes, the dot gives it to him. So it's a pop-up to the infielder of our choice, and we will say it goes to second. So Rooms is going to pop it up to second base, 1 away. Not that it really matters. I'm not keeping defensive stats for the Padres. Here's Joe Oliver. 2-2-3. Pitcher's not wild, slugger, or utility. He is semi-utility, but dot says no. So it's a single to left field for Joe Oliver. If he was active, he would steal, but he's semi-stoic. So he will hold, but it is going to be a base hit for Joe Oliver. And that will send up Mariano Duncan. Runner on first, 1 out, 3-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th. That's a 1-5-6. Is he a whiffer? No, he's not. Outfield drama for the Padres. And 2 semi-iron outfielders in Clark and Carter. And this time they will be iron. 3-6. 3-6 left fielder stoic. Gerald Clark, the left fielder, is stoic. He certainly is. You can see it right here. He's stoic. He is definitely stoic. So he will not get to that. That'll be a single. He's stoic enough where he couldn't get to the ball. So Duncan will single, and Oliver, on a lead die of 3, will stop at first base, or second base rather. So first and second, with 1 out, and the pitcher spot coming up. And it would make sense, I would think, to bunt here. Even with 1 out already, it probably makes sense to bunt. So we're going to bring our bunt chart back out. And that's on the main board. The bunt chart here. 1 or 2, he might be safe. 3, 4, 5, he's going to be out. 6, we got to roll again and see if something happens. That's a 3, so it will be a runner advance on an out. And the bunt's going to go to first. So coming in to make the play or field it was Jack Clark, and he will throw it to the second baseman. Alomar covering, goes 3-4 on the sacrifice hit, and both runners will move up now with 2 outs. And Chris Sabo, your batter. Clutch situation for Sabo. So sacrifice bunts are just that simplistic in History Maker Baseball. And now here's Sabo. 3, 4, 5. Iron catcher, no. Good eye, no. It's going to be a strikeout. That's going to end the inning. It's also in blue, so we're going to the right now chart to start the 5th inning. But nothing across for the Reds here in the 4th, even though they put 2 on. In scoring position, as a matter of fact, with 2 outs, but can't make it stick. And we go to the 5th inning. The score still 3-1. And that will send up Gerald Clark. but we are going to the right now chart based on what we just had on the previous at bat. So Santiago struck out last, so Jackson is semi-hot. Gerald Clark grounded out, he is neutral. So we've got a semi-hot pitcher against a neutral batter. Now they're both neutral, 3-5. Hot batter, no, so it's going to be a fly out to left. Would have been a single otherwise. But Gerald Clark, since he was not a hot batter, he flies out to left field. One away for Templeton. Stay up there. Templeton. 2-4-6 for the pitcher. And I believe that's a control check, but I will verify that. 2-4-6. Yep, control check. He's got semi-control. Doc gives it to him. So it's a ground out to Templeton, grounds it right back to Jackson for out number 2. So here's Rasmussen. Still just the 5th inning, and nobody's on base. They're going to let him swing away. Kind of early to pinch hit, particularly when nobody's on base. 2-3-4. Runs on base? No. Is he a hot batter? No. It's a pop out to third. And that's going to end the inning. So Danny Jackson settling in. Just that one mistake pitch to Joe Carter, and that's been it. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 3-1 Cincinnati. And it will be Hatcher, Larkin, and Davis coming up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Yes, Roger. Let me give you my email. Come on. Numlock. There we go. There you go. Yes, I still use AOL. I'm still archaic. I still use AOL. So I am archaic. I admit it. I put the O in old school. So here we go. We have Billy Hatcher against Rasmussen. That's a 4-4-4. Triple fours. Triples usually good for the batter. Is the batter a scrapper? Hatcher is a semi-scrapper. Dot says no. So it'll be a double to right field unless he's a home run king, which he is not. So Hatcher will double. Leadoff double for Billy Hatcher. That's a good way for the Reds to start their 5th inning. And now we go to Barry Larkin. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, no. Good eye, no. It's another strikeout. That results come up quite a bit. And it's in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for Eric Davis. Davis is neutral, and Rasmussen is semi-hot based on that strikeout he just managed to get on Larkin. So now they're both neutral. 1-5. 1-5 on the right now chart, both neutral. Cold batter. No, it's not a cold batter. If it was, he'd strike out. Otherwise, he pounces on a pitch, a single through shortstop. So it's a base hit. Lead die of 1 with only 1 out. Hatcher will have to stop at third. So that's going to put runners at the corners with only 1 out. And Todd Benzinger, your batter. Infield for the Padres going to play for the double play. They are back for this double play. 1-3-6. Not an ace. Is he whiffer or cold? Benzinger is neither one of those. So we have infield drama for the Padres, and they're all neutral in the infield. And that's a 4-6 on the infield drama. 4-6 shortstop gold. No, he's not gold, so it'll be an error on Templeton. E6. And that will score Hatcher and move Davis to second base. So he boots it, does Templeton. And reaching is Benzinger. It's now 4-1 Reds. Can't blame that one on Rasmussen. That possibly could have been a double play. But Templeton booted it. Now, since he booted it, we are going to the experience chart for this at bat. Experience chart, Rooms is neutral and Rasmussen is an icon, so Rasmussen will have the advantage in theory. Neutral batter against an icon pitcher. 1-5. Prospect batter. No, he's not a prospect batter, so he's going to single. How about that? That's going to load the bases. Lead die of 1, you cannot score from second unless there's 2 outs. So Rooms will single to load the bases for Joe Oliver. Joe Oliver. And for the Padres, that is the third error they have committed in this game. So Joe Oliver will be up to bat with the bases loaded and 1 out. Padres still looking for that double play. That's a 4-5-6. Pitcher's blank. Is the batter patient? No, he's not. It's going to be a fly to center. That will turn to a sacrifice fly on a lead die of 4. So that's a sacrifice fly to center field. Scoring is Eric Davis. Reds take a 5-1 lead for out number 2. And that'll bring up Duncan. Rasmussen near the end of his outing. 2-3-3. Ace or star. He's neither one. Slugger. He's not a slugger. So that's a fly out to center field, and that's going to end the inning. But the Reds pick up 2, and I think we're going to cap Rasmussen right there. He's going to give up 5 runs in 5 innings. Not all of it was his doing, though. The defense, as someone mentioned here in the comments, Ernest mentioned, they were a little shoddy. Or no, I'm sorry, Dav mentioned they were a little shoddy. And they were. And they are. So now we go to the Strat computer so I can score the inning real quick and get everything up to date. Hatcher led off with a double. Kind of recaps the inning, too. Hatcher led off with a double. Larkin struck out. A single from Davis moved the runner to third. A one-base error on Templeton. Scored a run and moved everybody else up. A single by Rooms loaded the bases. Sacrifice fly from Joe Oliver scored the second run. And then Duncan flew to center to end the inning. All right, so we're going to go get the final totals on Rasmussen to finish up his outing. Rasmussen goes 5 innings. He's going to give up 7 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of which were earned. Walked 1, struck out 5, so he certainly deserved a better fate. But not to be. So Bip Roberts will lead off. That's it for Rasmussen. We'll figure out who the Padres will use in the 6th inning, depending on lineups and so forth. Looks like it's going to be, well, I'm not sure who it's going to be honest with you. Let's take a look here. Who they might go to. I think it's going to be Mark Grant. He's going to come in for the Padres. He will pitch the 6th inning. Right now, Padres are batting, trailing it by the score of... Now, I did something wrong on the computer because I've only given the Reds 4 runs. I don't know what I did on the computer to take away one of their runs. Or do they only score? They only scored 2 runs in the second, according to this. Okay, so I got that backwards. Okay, it is actually 4-1. Strat computer is keeping me honest. It is actually 4-1. I thought 3 runs had scored that inning, but it's only 4 runs. So it is a 4-1 game, not a 5-1 game. I stand corrected. That's why I like having the computer. It keeps me straight. Because too easy to make an error. Just like Gary Templeton. All right. We are ready for the top of the 6th. Last inning of full freshness. I'm sorry, of semi-freshness for Danny Jackson. He will lose all freshness after this inning. 1-1-6. Ask, is he fresh? The dot gives it to him. It'll be a strikeout. So Jackson gets the benefit of the dot and gets the strikeout on Roberts. Here's Alomar. 1-2-4 control. The dot helps him out again. It is a control check, which he passes. It's a ground ball to short. So 2 quick outs. Desiredice saving his bacon twice. Here's Tony Gwynn. 1-4-6. Does he have flash? Dot does it again. Another strikeout. But wait a minute. The good eye might take that away. So let's see. There's an eyeball there. Good eye batter avoids strikeout, grounds out. So it won't be a strikeout. It will be a ground out to first. So Benziger will take it himself, but Gwynn will not strike out because of the good eye. That cuts down the strikeouts. You don't even find that in Stratomatic. So, all right. So that's going to do it there for the Padres. A very easy top of the 6th. Roberts with a strikeout. Alomar grounding to short. And Gwynn grounding to first in lieu of striking out. So now we need a new pitcher for the Padres, and it will be Mark Grant. No double switches, the straight inserting of Mark Grant. So Grant is in, and he'll be facing Jackson. They're going to keep Jackson in there. He's pitching well, so why take him out? So Jackson will lead off against Grant. 1-2-2. 1-2-2. Is the pitcher a workman? Yes, he is. It's going to be a single. So how about that? Because he's a workman, Danny Jackson, despite being the pitcher, gets a hit. So Danny Jackson, leadoff single. And that'll bring up Chris Sabo. 3-4-6. Pitcher is blank, batter eager. No, he's not eager, so he will walk. And boy, Grant not getting the job done. First 2 were aboard with nobody out. And that will send up Billy Hatcher. And that result was in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the bat of Hatcher. Harmonious Reds against neutral Padres. 2-3. Pitching team harmony, no. So instead of a strikeout, it's a walk. And that's going to load the bases. Because they were neutral and not harmonious, they will walk. So Hatcher will draw the walk to load the bases. And immediately, Mark Grant's now a semi-struggler. He's given up 3 straight base runners. He is a semi-struggler. Infield is in for the Padres. They have to cut the runoff as best they can, down by 3 already. And Barry Larkin is your batter. 4-5-6. That could be a sacrifice fly if nothing else. 4-5-6. Is the batter patient? He is not. So it is a fly to center, but again, with the lead die of 4, that's going to be a sacrifice fly. So that will score Jackson, the pitcher. Sacrifice fly for Barry Larkin does make it now 5-1. And now Grant is no longer a semi-struggler because he got that out. So 1 away, and Eric the Red. 2-5-6. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not, because he lost that thing by getting the out. Champion or patient? None of that. Infield drama, Padres. Everybody neutral on the infield. 3-6, and they're hoping they hit it to Templeton for another error. 3-6. Third baseman goal. No, it's going to be an error. So it'll be a 1-base error that loads the bases since he was not goal. Bip Roberts not goal. That is his 2nd error of the game. 4th error on the Padres, and it's going to load the bases. Padres are snake bit because of that. So Eric the Red will get on board to load the bases. And that turns it over to Benzinger. Infield looking for the double play. 2-3-6 is double control. He doesn't have it, but since Benzinger is eager, it's a 2-ball count. He will not walk a run in. So Benzinger on a 2-ball count will swing away. Whoa, 4-4s. That's not good for the pitcher. Not good for any pitcher. 4-4s. Is the batter a scrapper? He's a semi-scrapper. The side eye says he's a scrapper, so it's a solid single. It would have been a double. But instead, it's a solid single. And with lead die 4, that's a 2-base advancement for all runners. 2 more runs will score. And the Reds are pounding the Padres now. Padres are their own worst enemies at times, too, because of the fielding. So Benzinger singles to score 2 runs. And with just 1 out, the Reds now have 3 in. It's a 7-1 ball game. Grant in all sorts of trouble. Try to get him through the inning. Here's Orlando Rooms, the infield, looking for that double play. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so he will fly to center. See if it's a sacrifice fly. Stoic run on third base holds on flyouts. All others score. Well, Eric Davis is not stoic. He's semi-active, so it will be a sacrifice fly for Orlando Rooms because he was not stoic. It's a sacrifice fly to center field by Rooms. That run is obviously unearned because of the error. But 4 runs are in. It's now 8-1 in favor of the Reds. And here's Oliver. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, no. Good eye, no. It's a strikeout to end the inning. But 4 score for the Reds. They take an 8-1 lead. And that's probably all for Mark Grant. I don't think he's coming back. So we go to the 7th inning. It is now 8-1 Cincinnati. So I need to put this in the computer. A single, a walk, and another walk. Sacrifice fly. And then a 1-base error on Bip Roberts. Then a single. And then Rooms, sacrifice fly again. And then Oliver strikes out. That's only giving them 3 runs. Where am I missing the runs here? Somebody's missing a run. Davis should have a run here. Yeah, something didn't go right here. I think on that single, it should have been a 2-run single. So let me fix that real quick. That single by Benzinger was a 2-run single, not a 1-run single. So I need to update that. So Benzinger will single and 2 runs will score, with Davis going to third base. And then Rooms gets the sacrifice fly to center. That does it. That gives him the 4th run. And then Oliver strikes out. All right. So we have completed 6. And we go to the 7th, top of the 7th. That last result was in blue, so we're going to the right now chart. Jack Clark struck out his last time. He is cold. Danny Jackson got Gwynn to ground out. He is neutral. So we have a cold batter against a neutral pitcher. That's a 3-6 on the right now chart. Cold batter against neutral pitcher. Cold pitcher. No, he's not a cold pitcher. It'll be a pop out to the catcher. So Jack Clark pops it up to Joe Oliver. And there's 1 away. Here's Joe Carter. The only run of the game for the Padres came on the Carter home run, but since then the Reds have got 8 unanswered. 1-1-4. Is he fresh? No, he's lost all freshness. So that does, even with the dot, it doesn't help him. He's lost all fresh. He would have to have a shutout to be fresh. So he's not fresh. Sad sack or patient. Neither one. So it's a single to right field for Joe Carter. Joe Carter gets the base hit. And that result is in purple. So we're going to the chemistry chart once again. I know sometimes it seems like we go to these charts a little more often than we should, but that's just the way the game plays. Neutral against harmonious. 4-6. 4-6 says pitching team dissonance. No, they're harmonious, not dissonant. So it's infield drama rather than a walk. So we got infield drama where Duncan is semi-iron. And now he is iron. 1-2. Everybody else is neutral. 1-2. Shortstop iron. No, Barry Larkin is not iron, but he will make an error. But if he was iron, it'd be a 2-base error. If he was gold, he wouldn't have any error. But since he's neutral, he makes the error. So Santiago will reach on the Barry Larkin error. E6. And that's going to bring up Gerald Clark. Fielding. That's 5 errors in the game, 4 by San Diego, and the first one here by the Reds. Here's Gerald Clark. 1-6-6. Is he a workman? No, he's not a workman. Is he a whiffer? He is a semi-whiffer, but the dot says no, which means it's a ground out to third. Lead dive 1 is a double play, and that's going to end the inning. So it's going to be a 5-4-3 around the horn double play to end the inning. He'd been better off being a whiffer. But Gerald Clark hits into the inning-ending double play. And we have reached the 7th inning stretch. Score is still 8-1 Cincinnati. They are definitely in control. And they might camp. I think they're going to cap Danny Jackson here because he's pitched 7 innings. I think that's enough for Danny Jackson. So we'll get his numbers to finish out his outing. And, of course, he will qualify for the win, which would put him 1-0. He goes 7 innings pitched. And he's going to give up 3 hits and 1 run, which was the home run from Joe Carter. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. So nice outing for Danny Jackson. Mark Grant goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned, 2 walks and a strikeout, plus there were errors involved too. So Mark Grant will leave, and Calvin Schiraldi will be the new pitcher for the Padres. No double switch. They will just have Schiraldi pitch the 7th and be done with it. I think that's their plan. Since Jackson is done, we need a pinch hitter after Duncan. And that will be Herm Winningham, I think, or it might be Ken Griffey. Let's see who they want to go to. Who hasn't had a bat here lately? You know what? They'll go to the venerable Ken Griffey. How about that? So Griffey would pick up a bat and hit for Jackson. That's after Duncan leads off. So it's going to be Duncan, Griffey, and Sabo against Schiraldi. So 7th inning stretch. I'm going to take a quick stretch break myself since we've been at it here for almost an hour. Thanks to all these errors by the Padres extending the game. Don't forget tonight, RJL Network has his 1983 inside pitch replay going. Pirates at the Reds from the stadium in front of the river once again. That'll be tonight at probably around 7:30 is when he usually jumps in. I'm not sure if that changes, if it's 7:30, something like that, I think. So if you like inside pitch or you just want to hear Robert call a game, there you go. Okay, 7th inning stretch break is over, and Mariano Duncan will be leading things off against the new pitcher, Calvin Schiraldi. And I hope some of you got to see the game last night on Stratomatic between the Red Sox and the Rangers. It was definitely a wild one indeed. And I did figure out finally on the Strat computer, I did figure out how to get the outfield, the DH to go into the outfield. I have to move the pitcher. I have to replace the pitcher first before I do any defensive changes. And my problem was I did a defensive change and that blocked everything. So now at least I know how to do that going forward. But if you didn't see that game, you might want to at least watch the last couple innings, if not the whole thing. But anyway, just a selfless plug there. All right, here's Duncan. 1-1-5. Schiraldi is definitely fresh. He's starting the game. It's a pop out to the choice infielder, and it will go to second. So Duncan pops to Alomar. 1 away, and now Ken Griffey, the pinch hitter, will be up. So let's see what he's done on the season. Limited duty, obviously. So Jackson had a fine outing, but now it's time to incorporate the bullpens, particularly with a couple days off because of rainouts and whatnot. They want to give their bullpen some work. They don't want them to sit around idly all that much. Griffey is 0 for 1. This is only his second at-bat of the season. So he definitely needs some at-bats to get him going. 4-4-6. Star pitcher. He is not a star pitcher. Sad sack, utility, or patient. He's a semi-sad sack. The dot says he is, so he takes a called strike 3. So Griffey watches that one go by. 2 outs. And Chris Sabo, the batter. 3-4-5. Back to this iron catcher. No, good eye, no. It's going to be a strikeout. And that's going to end the inning. It's also going to take us to the right now chart for the top of the 8th, which we would go to, but we're changing pitchers, so that's going to override the right now chart. So that will override that, since we are going to pitchers. Any substitution overrides the micro chart. So let's see who they want to go to. Who needs some work here? Let's see. Liana's gone 3 innings. Burtis has only gone 2 innings. Let's see. Charlton has gone 3 innings. So I think with the big lead, they're going to go to Tim Burtsis. So Tim Burtsis is going to be on as the new pitcher for the Reds. Left-hander Tim Burtsis. His only quality is flash. And on the replay, he's only pitched 2 innings. No record, no one-loss record, no saves. ERA of 0. He's gone 2 innings, given up no runs, but given up 2 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. So those are the numbers. And we'll have Templeton, a pinch hitter for Schiraldi. And it'll be a right-hander off their bench. So it looks like it's going to be Darren Jackson, not Danny Jackson, Darren Jackson. So it'll be Templeton, Jackson, and Roberts due up for the Padres. So Darren Jackson will be the pinch hitter. He is a semi-slugger. But first things first, it is Gary Templeton against Bertzes. We had a 1-2-4 control pitcher. Bertzes does not have the control feature. Is he eager? Yes, he is. He's eager, so he's going to pop to first. So Templeton, if he wasn't eager, would have walked, but he was too eager, and he pops it up to first. Benziger hauls it in, 1 away. And now we need to bring in Darren Jackson to pinch hit for Grant. That's a 5.56. Is he an ace? No, he's not an ace. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's not. It'll be a double. So Darren Jackson comes in and hits a pinch hit double for the Padres. Pinch hit double, and that'll bring up Bip Roberts. Two, three, four. Runners on base. Yes, we do have runners on base. We got plate drama. Let's see what happens on plate drama. 1-2 for plate drama. 1-2 says catcher iron. No, he's not iron. It's a ball. So we're going to the umpire chart for the first time with a runner on second base. Umpire chart. Runner on second. Second base umpire is Bob Davidson, but it could call on any umpire. You never know. 2-6, and it says respected umpire at home. Home plate umpire is John McSherry. He is semi-respected, but the dot says no. So when this is bad, he is not respected. If he was respected, batter flies out deep right field, runner thrown out trying for third. Other umpires rule runner safe at third. Or did I say umpire? I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Respected umpire at home. I'm sorry. I was reading 2-3. 2-6, umpire at home is respected. If he was, batter singles, base runner breaks for home out. Other umpires call safe at home, batter to second. So how about that? Since he was not respected, Jackson will score. He would have been called out had McSherry been respected this particular bat, but he was not. And on the throw, Bip Roberts will take second. So it's an RBI single for Roberts. He takes second on the throw. Scoring is Jackson, and the lead is down to 8-2. And that'll bring up Alomar. And they won't mess around with Bertzes too long if he messes things up. 1 out, runner at second. 1-5-6, back to the regular chart. 1-5-6, pitcher is blank. Is the batter a whiffer? No, he's not. Outfield drama for the Reds. All are neutral. That's a 3-4 on the outfield drama. Left fielder iron. No, he's not iron. Hatcher is neutral, so it will be a fly out. And that is out number 2. Brings up Tony Gwynn versus lefty on lefty to Tony Gwynn. Make sure that wasn't, we don't go anywhere. No extra charts for that, I don't think. Nope, we go to the regular chart. 3-5-5 for Gwynn. Or actually for Bertzes first. Struggler, no, he's not a struggler. Is Gwynn a champion? He is not a champion. He's a hero, not a champion. He will ground to second. And that's going to end the inning. But the Padres do get a run. That's it, just the one. And it's 8-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-2 ball game. And the Padres will need a new pitcher. And who will they call on? Let's see. Coming up for the Reds, it's all right-handers. So who do they want to go to here? They're going to go to, well, it really doesn't matter who they go to at this point, I don't think. They're going to go to, let's get their bullpen out here. They've used Grant and Schiraldi. So they're going to go to Pat Clements. Other one not carded, but a good time to use him. on a blowout game. So Pat Clements is your new pitcher here in the 8th inning. Eight to 2 ball game. And I believe that might be all for Burtsis as well. They might want to get somebody else an inning of work in as well with these couple days off that are coming up. So I think it's going to be all for Burtsis. So Clements will face Hatcher to start the bottom of the 8th of an 8 to 2 ball game. Unfortunately, couldn't get a little closer game for you, but that's just the way it goes sometimes with these dice. You never can tell how it's going to work out with these dice. So Clements to Hatcher. 2-3-4. Nobody's on base. Is he a hot batter? Hatcher is not a hot batter, so he'll pop to third, one away. So Hatcher pops out to Bip Roberts, one away. Here's Barry Larkin. 4-4-6. This pitcher a star. He is not a star. He has actually no pitching qualities at all. He's neutral in everything. Sad sack, utility, or patient, none of those. So it's a single to right field. If he's active, he would steal. Decider Die says he's active. So Barry Larkin, despite the score being 8 to 2, will steal second base. And Jack McKean of the Padres not too happy about the aggressiveness of the Reds with a score like this. But them the breaks. And that result is in red, so we're going to the experience chart. Clements is an icon. Davis is a semi-icon. So icon against semi-icon. Now they're both icons, 2-5. Icon batter, yes, anticipates pitch, drops past shortstop for a single. That'll send Larkin to third. I don't know if Larkin has an option to score. Let's see. Lead die of 2. It says active runner scores from first on doubles or second from hits. And let's see. Larkin is semi-active. We got the dot. Did we use the dot for anything else? No, we did not. So he is active. So therefore, Larkin will score. Or I'm sorry, not score. He will. He will score from second base. That's what I meant to say the first time. So a single from Eric Davis, and that's going to score Larkin, making it 9 to 2. Favor the Reds, and that will bring up Todd Benzinger. 1-3-6. The pitcher is not an ace. Is the batter whiffer or cold? Benzinger is neither one. Infield drama for the Padres, and that's not good because they made lots of errors already. Everybody is neutral. 3-5. But they've been making neutral errors. Third baseman iron, no, it's a ground out. So this time around, it'll be a fielder's choice with a lead die of 3. So this time they do not make the error, as Bip Roberts is able to handle it for the force play, 5-4. And that'll send up Mr. Rolando Rooms. 1-1-3. Ace or dynamic, no. Is he a slugger? Semi-slugger, but the dot doesn't give it to him. But he will single to center field unless he's a sad sack. He is not a sad sack, and he's not a home run king, so the single will stand. And that'll put runners at first and second. Orlando Rooms having a nice day. Third hit of the game for Orlando Rooms. Third hit of the season, actually, and the game. So first and second with 2 outs for Joe Oliver. 3-4-5. Back to that iron catcher thing. Nope. Good eye. Nope. Strikeout to end the inning. Would go to the right now chart, but the pitching chain is going to override that. Reds do get a run to make it 9-2, and they will bring in somebody to finish out the ball game, whoever they deem needs work. So we'll check. That's it for Clements. So we'll check their bullpen, see who they want to give some work to. First, we need to go to the Strat computer and input that inning. So Hatcher leads off, popping to third. And we got Larkin singling and then stealing second base, much to the chagrin of the Padres. And then a single from Davis scores Mr. Larkin for the run. Then we have a 5-4 fielder's choice. And then we have a single from Oliver. I'm sorry, from Rooms. And then Oliver strikes out. All right, now we're back in business, and we're going to the bullpen for the Reds. Leadoff batter is Jack Clark. So we have righty, righty, righty coming up. Let's see if they decide to bring in Tim Layana or they want to bring in somebody else. Myers has only pitched 2 innings so far. Charlton has only pitched 3 innings. I think they're going to go ahead and use Layana. Tim Layana is going to come on and pitch. Went from Tim Burtis to Tim Layana, so a second Tim. Not to be confused with Clee baseball fan Tim. This is Layana. Burtis will go 1 inning, give up 2 hits and a run. No walks and no strikeouts. And now Layana will face Jack Clark, Joe Carter, and Benito Santiago. It's a 1-2-3, Flash and Fresh. He's not Flash, so he's just going to ground it to short. It will not be a strikeout. The sire die did not give it to him, but Clark grounds to short for out number 1. And that'll send up Joe Carter. 1-4-5. Pitcher struggling. No, it's a ground ball to third, and that's 2 down. So Layana looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And the last man standing in his way is Benito Santiago. It's a 2-2-6. Hit by pitch, no. Is he the cleanup batter? No. So he will fly to left field, and that's going to end the ball game. So Layana pitches a 1-2-3 inning in the 9th to wrap it up. And the Reds win it by the score of 9-2. And we'll get the numbers for you. Totals, I meant to say. Reds, though, now improve on the season to 5-3. So for the Reds, 9 runs, 12 hits, and an error. They left on 10. Padres, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 4 errors. They left on 4. Winning pitcher is Danny Jackson. He's 1-0. There was no save, of course, because of the big score. So you could give the player of the game to Danny Jackson, who went 7 solid innings, or you give it to the guy that went 3 for 4 for his first 3 hits of the season, and that would be Rolando Rooms. So I'm going to give the player of the game to Rolando Rooms, as he's going to receive that award for player of the game. Let's get the numbers on Grant here and Schiraldi. I'm not going to worry about Padre pitching. I'm not keeping stats for them, so I don't have to worry about them. But there you go, 9-2. Cincinnati wins it. They improved to 5-3. This game was played. This is the April 18th game. They don't play again until the 21st when Atlanta comes to town. So there must have been some rainouts. So all of their pitchers will indeed have full endurance going forward. Yeah, Ernest, you should check out RJL's game tonight. Definitely need to do that. Check him out. And also, if you haven't seen Inside Pitch, that's he's the guru of Inside Pitch. If you want to check out how to play Inside Pitch, go back and watch one of his slow playthroughs that he does to start each of his seasons. But on the regular season, he kind of just goes at regular speed. So that's not the place really to learn the game. It's more of the place to watch the game. But if you need to learn it, watch one of his slow playthroughs, and he will definitely be able to help you out with that. So that's going to do it from Riverfront Stadium. Final score again, Cincinnati 9, San Diego 2. Winning pitcher, Danny Jackson. He's now 1-0. Player of the game, Rolando Rooms, 3 for 4. And Padres done in by 4 errors in that game. So when you give up 4 errors, that's just not that's not a good thing, obviously. So the next pitching matchup will be on, or the next matchup will, like I said, in this series will be on April 21st. It's a couple games off, I'm assuming, because of a rainout. It's going to be Marty Clary for the Braves against Jack Armstrong for the Reds. That'll be that matchup. But next on the channel will be another Stratomatic game. We will be in Oakland Alameda County Coliseum as the Seattle Mariners take on the Oakland A's, and that'll be a pitching matchup of Scott Bankhead against Dave Stewart. And that'll be sometime. I'll probably record it sometime tonight. I don't know if I'll go live stream or not. I'll probably just record it. I might go live stream. It depends on what mood I'm in and whatnot. I don't want to overload the live streams too much in one day. But I might, because I don't do it that often. So we'll see. But that's going to do it from here. I got some honeydew things I need to finish up downstairs. But it was an enjoyable game despite the fact that it was a blowout. But hopefully, if you haven't seen History Maker before or haven't seen it much, hopefully this is showing you how History Maker works and the ratings and so forth. I know I'm not showing the book, but it's kind of hard to keep showing that while I'm trying to play the game. It's just too much back and forth, and plus there's something to be said for intellectual property of play.com, so I don't want to give that away either. So, but anyway, there it is right there. So, and I'm also, I am starting to be dangerous. I'm starting to tinker around with OBS now. And, of course, I had that one video I did a couple days ago of Out of the Park baseball. So I might tinker with that, with OBS again, either with Out of the Park baseball or Action PC. Although we know Uncle Ron is the guru of Action PC, but sometimes it's not a bad thing to delve in there myself and try to get something done with that. But it depends on what mood I'm in and how much time I have and all that good stuff. So, again, thank you all for tuning in. If you're an NFL fan, of course, tomorrow is the conference championship games, and you can watch those and see how many calls the Kansas City Chiefs get in their favor, like they normally get. So we shall see. And of course, you got the surprise Washington team playing Philadelphia. So that would be something if Washington made the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. That would be something. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Check out RJL tonight. I might come on live after RJL and do a Stratomatic game, Oakland, Seattle, or I might just record it and upload it tomorrow. I haven't decided. But either way, thank you for tuning in. And I encourage you to play whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.